Hey guys, Tiller here. So I'm a little sick this week, and have been for the past week, so that's probably why you haven't heard many videos. If you've been looking at the channel at all, you notice there aren't many streams, I've been sick. So, yeah, anyways. I thought I'd make a little video, just touching base on the most recent game that I've picked up, which is Nickelodeon All Star Brawl, from the perspective of a guy who has never watched a full episode of a Nickelodeon's cartoon. Because, yeah, that's an interesting perspective. Anyways, this isn't a review as much as it is a first impressions video. I think games like this are tough to review. The crowd you're attempting to appeal to makes it hard to measure the game in terms of worth outside of gameplay. For one, it's not like I'm going into this entirely blind. I've seen bits and pieces of this game during development, and I know some Nickelodeon's cartoon characters. I mean, I'm not entirely unfamiliar with the roster. I don't live under a rock. I know who the big group of guys are in this game, and the ones that I've never seen before are probably the two loud kids, the powdered toast man and the toilet demon tapeworm thing, Oblina? Whatever. So why would I pick up a crossover fighting game that I have no attachment to? Simple. That's because it's how I got into fighting games. First time I picked up a fighting game, I knew 8 characters out of its entire roster of 50. So today I'm going to be talking about a few of my opinions on Nickelodeon All Star Brawl, while actively annoying the biggest fighting game on the planet that had its most requested character just announced. Thank you, Sakurai. So as usual with my first impressions videos, these are a little unscripted, and yeah, I'm just spitballing here. The game is fun. I really enjoy it, despite the fact that it does feel a little mashy. And I don't think mashy is a bad thing. I think it's a relatively good thing because everything in this game is fast. Like, even the strong characters, or the heavy characters, most of your moves are very quick. And that makes it a lot of fun because matches go by very quickly. I'm really fond of the air dash, and the somewhat simplified melee mechanics make it pretty fun to play, because I'm not like a high execution kind of guy. But I haven't played that much of it. I played maybe 2 hours, a lot of versus matches with one of my friends, and yeah, it's been fun. It's been a lot of fun. Now, on the hand of the roster, I can't really say much. I can say at most that a lot of characters are unique, and there are a lot of references in their moves, and I think one of the most difficult parts of these kinds of games is finding the balance between reference and fighting game balance, right? Because you don't want to have a character who's way too referencey and has no potential as a fighter, lest you wind up with things like PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale, where the characters are significantly built to reference their material, but then ultimately are not good at the game part of it. They're not fun to play, and they feel clunky. Now, on the other hand of things, I want to talk a little bit about this game in terms of a competitor to Smash. I think that the idea that it's supposed to compete with Smash on a sales level is ridiculous. As we've already seen, this game has put a lot of focus into gameplay, and it's a lot of fun to play, and it's put pretty much any of the money it could spend on big names into the roster, right? And that's fine. However, the presentation of this game is a little bit harder to judge. There's no voice acting. The sound effects are a little lackluster sometimes. And the music is there, kind of. But yeah, these are all things that I think under a development team who has been given a larger budget would be able to cover all of this stuff, right? Unfortunately, that's not the case here, and it's not the devs' fault, it's not the PR team, it's not anyone's fault, because we don't know how well this game is going to do. It could do extremely well. as it looks like it'll have a supported competitive scene, unlike a certain other very large crossover fighter. But regardless of all that, I really like the choices made for this game, despite my lack of understanding a lot of the reference material. I think it's a fun fighting game regardless of whether you know Nickelodeon characters or not, right? Because you have your fun slapstick kind of characters, you have your characters who are a little bit more on the serious side, and you have your kind of elemental, you know, the Avatar characters who do their... You could call it magic, I know it's bending, but, you know, if you want, like, elemental characters with, like, fire and ice and things like that, and not ice, but... Again, you get the point. It's a very good game. I'm having a lot of fun playing it, and I don't think I will do a full review for this game. I find it very difficult to do full reviews unless I have a lot to say about the game. I think the main thing I wanted to say was that this game is not really a competitor to Smash in terms of what they're going for. The visions of both games are kind of different, and that's okay. Because this game has a lot, for someone who's a casual like me, right? This game actually has a lot going for it in terms of the gameplay, because it feels like a game you can pick up and you can understand relatively quickly. By reducing the number of moves that each of the characters have by comparison to Smash Bros., where Smash Bros. You have 4 directional inputs, or, yeah, 4 directional inputs per button, and Nickelodeon you have 2 directional inputs, or 3 directional inputs per button. By reducing that, you've essentially created a easier to pick up game because you have less moves to figure out. And also, while it does give you less options, the movement in this game is really good. And the speed of it really makes it not matter too much. And I've really enjoyed what I've played of it so far. And I hope you guys are willing to pick it up if you're interested. I'm sure there are places with discounts, especially if you're buying on PC. I don't know if the game is still $10 off on Switch and Xbox, but I believe that was a thing on pre-order. And on Steam, I know it's $10 off. But regardless, I want to see this game succeed. Not that I know any Nickelodeon stuff. As far as I know, the only character who's tied to Nickelodeon in any way that I would be interested in seeing is Garfield, because I used to read those comics a lot when I was younger. Not as much now, but I have fond memories. So I hope you guys are interested in picking up this game. If not, then that's okay too. Don't worry. We're just here to have some fun. And I'll hopefully see you guys next week, where I talk about what I believe to be another fighting game. Anime fighter. That I may or may not bludgeon to death, depending on how good or bad it is. But we'll see when that happens. And anyways, if you guys have any opinions about Nickelodeon All Stars, why don't you leave them down in the comments and give me your impressions of it. And if you guys are interested in seeing more content like this, remember to like the video and subscribe for more videos, reviews, all sorts of things. I'm going to try to expand my horizons a little bit. I want to start playing games that I'm not super into, but I really have no idea where to start. So, until then, I'll see you guys next week. This has been Tiller. Thank you for watching.